This review is on the novel, The Judge's List. I'm the Anger God. I'm going to tell you like it is. The novel, The Judge's List, was written by John Grisham. Mr. Grisham is credited with great works such as The Firm, The Pelican Brief, This Client, The Runaway Jury, just to name a few. The novel, The Judge's List, is solely about Ross Bannick, who is a sitting judge and has been a serial killer for 22 years. All Bannick victims had bad history with him during his life at one time or another. Lacy Stoltz works for the Board of Judicial Conduct, BJC. Her department is responsible to check into a judge's background if there is a written complaint against him. Her department will try to find any evidence of a judge's wrongdoings. If any is discovered, they will notify the proper authorities. The BJC cannot act as a police officer or detectives. Margie, alias Jeri, Jill, Betty Rowe, an educated black woman whose father was the second victim of Ross Bannick. She has been following Bannick's activities for 20 years and has eventually filed a complaint against Judge Bannick using a different name than her own because she feels the police would not believe her and she does not want her real name ending up on the judge's list to be killed. Lacy Stoltz is the senior investigator for the Board of Judicial Conduct and totally uninspired and bored with her job. She has a boyfriend and their relationship is tenuous at best. Lacy is still getting over her FBI agent's best friend death from a car accident in which she was driving. The plotline for the novel is like watching my very young granddaughter playing in a soccer game, while a blonde-haired boy who could dribble the ball better than any other child led the entire two teams behind him as he weaved back and forth down the soccer field, just like the character Ross Bannick in the book. While going over and over the sequence of his killings and continuing his murderous activities, the readers of the novel and the two main characters, Lacy and Jeri, search and follow Bannick's past activities like the soccer teams on my granddaughter's soccer team, one step behind the miniature David Beckman. Ross Bannick's character was created too perfect, always cleansing the area after each killing without leaving a single hair or a full fingerprint behind. Of course, Bannick had Rafe, who was working constantly rummaging through the sparse and disjointed network of the Atlas Finders, otherwise known as the small office of Rolly Tobar, the private investigator. Tobar could penetrate any police station, business, personal computers, or anything the author needed to be done. When approaching the end of the novel, I was getting worried about this book if it was a part one of two, because as a reader, there was a large amount of information needed to be told with only a few pages left. The novel, The Judge's List, was an easy and fast read. The story repeated itself over and over in the sequence of killings, who and why, to what avail. The storyline was spacing, meaning the book could have been 200 pages instead of 357. To tell you the truth, I wish I lost interest in the book instead of reading the ending. Ugh. Out of an alphabetic score, I give the novel, The Judge's List, a D+. When I read a good book, I actually form small pictures in my mind while reading, which I tend not to forget for about 1 to 2 weeks. That's why I don't start reading another book immediately. My point is, while reading the novel, The Judge's List, there was not, if any, memorable parts for me. Hey, thanks for subscribing. Thank you. Appreciate you viewing and value your comments.